The council is now in session. Roll call.
Mayor Terri Mabry,
Here.
Councilmember Bode,
Here.
Phillip, Laux,
Here.
Perkey,
Here.
Terri Witcher,
Here.
Carolyn Johnson. Here. Everybody's present there at the forum.
Roll call. Okay. Review the approved minutes for December 6th, 2021 meeting.
Meeting minutes for December 6, 2021. Call to order. Meeting was called to order at 7:30 p.m. by Mayor Terri Mabry. Roll call. Mayor Terri Mabry, Councilmembers Andy Bode, Mayor Pro Tem, Phillip Laux, Perkey, Terri Witcher, Carolyn Johnson, there the forum. Review and approve minutes for the October 4th, 2021 meeting. Councilmember Bode makes a motion to accept as corrected. Councilmember Witcher seconds. 5-0 in favor, motion passed. Review and approve minutes of the November 1, 2021 meeting. Councilmember Bode makes none allowed. Councilmember Laux makes a motion to accept as corrected. Councilmember Witcher seconds. 5-0 in favor, motion passed. Review and approve minutes of the November 22nd, 2021 meeting. Councilmember Johnson makes a motion to accept as corrected. Councilmember Bode seconds. 5-0 in favor, motion passed. Review and approve the treasurer's report for September, October, and third quarter financial report. Councilmember Bode presents the report. Councilmember Johnson makes a motion to accept. Councilmember Bode seconds. 2 in favor, 3 abstain, motion fails. Review and approve the 2022 budget. Councilmember Laux makes a motion, we approve it because we can always change it because it's our council. Councilmember Bode seconds. 5-0 in favor, motion passed. Announce election for 2022. Secretary Alton reads aloud the dates. Councilmember Witcher makes a motion to accept. Councilmember Perkey seconds. 5-0 in favor, motion passed. Discussion and adopt the newspaper for city council announcements and postings. Councilmember Witcher makes a motion to use paper paper. Councilmember Johnson seconds. 5-0 in favor, motion passed. Discuss and advertise for police officers in the newspaper. Councilmember Bode makes a motion to put it in the term paper. Councilmember Johnson seconds. 4-0 in favor. Councilmember Witcher abstains. Motion passed. Discuss and approve appointment of Carolyn as municipal judge for 2 or 4-year term. Councilmember Bode makes a motion for a 4-year term. No second received. Councilmember Bode changes the motion to a 2-year term. Councilmember Johnson seconds. 3-0 in favor. Councilmember Laux and Witcher abstains. Motion passed. Report the status of acquiring an auditor and moving forward with preparations for an audit. A request for proposal has been requested. Mayor Mabry wants Councilmember Witcher to work on preparing one. Updating oil and gas bonds. Secretary Alton is waiting on a response from the firm to know where to send the bonds the city have on file. Secretary can over one. Report on stolen sign. Councilmember Bode received a call from his son that someone stole a sign at the corner of Ward and Parker. He then got a sign out of storage and put it up and stated the lost a limit sign stating she purchased the one. Adjourned. Mayor Mabry adjourned at 8:55 p.m. with no vote.
Okay. I heard a motion to accept it.
Another question.
Question?
On 6, are those numbers accurate as far as the vote? 2 in favor, 3 abstain? That means it passes. It goes by number of votes. voted, which means 2 of 5 voted. It passes.
She would say 2 votes.
2 votes, 3 abstained. 2 people voted. It passes. No, go ahead. Excuse me. 2 people voted for our secretary and it passed. If you remember.
That's because the mayor broke the tie.
No.
Yes, he
No,
did.
he did not vote. It was 2 to 1. And an abstention. 3 people voted. 2 in favor, that's the majority. 2 people voted in this, voted yes, it passes. So instead of motion fails, its motion passes.
I'm not sure it's why I abstain. I have something to say about 6 and 7. Can I speak?
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to speak on.
Okay.
I understand this is a condensed version, and why we have a condensed version for the meeting minutes, I understand that. But number 7 states, the topic of number 7 was review and approve the 2022 budget. Councilman Laux makes a motion, we approve it because we can always change it because we are the council. This single sentence represents a large portion of the meeting with no context. And I believe it's important because the context began over 30 minutes before under number 6, where the citizens questioned and discussed spending overages and percentages and tolerances for the budget before council could take action. Okay, at that point, I stated I believe the city needed a dedicated treasurer, something we'd all discussed before. And I stated that I would be abstaining from any future budgetary issues until we confer with our legal counsel on the matter because we need a dedicated treasurer to hold accountable for budgetary issues. I wasn't sure of the legal matters on it, and I don't want someone actually coming after the gentleman who's volunteered to do all this for us, meanwhile, when we should have already taken action on this. Whether it was going to be reassigned, assigned to a new person, I wanted someone held accountable. I did abstain from this vote. I stated aloud the council could approve it without my vote, and 2 other council members abstained. That's yours. Back to number 7, council members. The mayor, the council members, and several citizens, again engaged in discussion and agreed in future exploring hire a city treasurer to handle budgetary matters going forward, or reassignment. I'm not picking sides on that. The fact was the budgetary matters needed to be assigned, not volunteered temporarily to a volunteer. The discussion was in response to a citizen question on item number 6. It was brought up no action could be taken nor officially explored on this during this meeting because it wasn't on this meeting agenda. It was mentioned in open meeting again to have this item on the agenda for the next council meeting. It was said by 3 council members and a mayor. Not on this agenda. Councilman Laux asked for clarification on the council's responsibility to approve this budget. The clarification was necessary due to earlier discussion on the responsibilities of the treasurer and secretary positions. I had stated earlier I would likely abstain on approving any budgetary issues until we had conferred with our legal counsel and would rather have a designated treasurer in place to handle the budgetary issues. It was clarified that the mayor proposes the budget, the council approves the budget, and that the treasurer adheres to the budget. Also, the budget should be approved that night so that it was in place for the next year. And that it could be amended as needed at any time by vote of the council. After that, I made a motion to go ahead and amend it, to go ahead and pass it, because the council could amend it as needed at any time. I believe that this one single sentence representing a large portion of the meeting is not a fair representation of that in the meeting minutes. Something more like, after brief discussion and clarification that the city budget can be amended at any time as needed by vote of the council, Councilman Laux made a motion to approve the budget. I think would be more representative of what happened in the meeting. And also, back to what you had said. Thank you. Absolutely.
So, are you asking me about whether there's an abstention counts as a yes or a no? So we still have to have a majority even if you
Yes.
abstain. So it still fails.
Yep.
So if 2 people abstained and 3 voted yes, then it would have passed. But an abstention typically counts as a no. I wasn't here at that meeting, so I don't know, I've noticed in a lot of the minutes that people are just abstaining. And it's really important that that we need to be voting for or against things. Typically, you don't see people abstaining for, conflicts of interest, whether that be personal or economic, but we need to be voting, if you don't want to vote for it, then we need to be voting against it.
I believe it was my first abstention, and it was only because I was not going to vote on any more budgetary issues until we talked to the new council.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So that is correct, so it did fail, it did pass.
The November 1st meeting, the minutes, they're not on the website. You read those, I believe. Yeah.
I never received an updated copy.
Yes, I noticed that they weren't on the website today. So maybe we could give, donate a copy of those.
That's what we got on this.
Could you hear me, Andy? Could you give Kelly a copy of the November 1st corrected one so she can put them on the website, because it's not on the website? The minute meeting, number 4,
The meeting minutes for the meeting in which Kelly was not here.
November 1st.
I'm supposed to keep them
You're the one who did the minutes. You're the only one who has possession of those minutes, those particular minutes.
If I have those minutes, then I will send them to you. No problem.
Okay, then where we stand at, then we further. The names. And December.
I can vote for him if we amend number 7, something more like my suggestion. I have it right here.
You want to change it to say like all of that.
Well, it was one sentence, that's a
Yeah.
compound sentence.
So we want to change number 7 to say, after brief discussion and clarification of the city budget can be amended at any time as needed by vote of the city council. Councilmember Laux made a motion to approve this budget. Councilmember Bode seconds, 5 vote in favor, motion passed. Is that what you-
Yes. Yes.
I motion that we approve with the changes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second favor?
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
Okay. Aye. Okay. Okay, review and approve November, December, and the fourth quarter of the financial report.
November 2021, general account, beginning balance, $215,929.55. Income for that month, comptroller, $3,576.46. Southwestern Bell, $234.25, for a total of $2,810. Checks clear, AT&T follows, 8162. IRS for the fourth payroll, 240. Then there was a reimbursement to Carolyn for getting office supplies, $173.94. For cash and fuel, October 21, first quarter calculation, $79. Mobile phone, $89.78. And UPS mailing, PIR, and getting some stamps, $27.20. Checks outstanding. AT&T phone for November, $81.62. Secretary November salary, $461.75, and Office Depot supply, $120.89. Checks outstanding for previous months. Secretary July salary, $461.75. Secretary August salary, $461.75. Secretary September salary, $461.75. And Secretary October salary, $461.75. And all the checks for that one amounted to $692.52. For any balance, $219.47. Special account. Any balance, $2,350.80. There was one check, Judge Gavin, $375. Checks outstanding. Meal and travel expenses for some of our Judge Gavin for $159.82. So the total of that month, $375. The ending balance of $1,950.04. Savings account, beginning balance, $8,407. Deposits from the three CDs that we get interest on is $14. And ending balance of $8,421.46. Okay, now for the December 2021. Beginning balance $219,047.04. Income from comptroller $2,223.94. Checks cleared for that month. Secretary July salary $461. Secretary August salary $461.75. Secretary September salary $461.75. AT&T phones $81.62. Office Depot supplies $128.09. U.S. Postal Service CIR and stamps $33.56. T-Mobile phones $84.74. Total cash and member calculation $2. Thomas Brothers local government code 2022 $96.34. And stop payment on check 2721 that was lost $35. Checks outstanding, AT&T phone December $862. Secretary December salary $461.75. And replacement October salary $461.75. Checks outstanding in previous months. Secretary November salary $461.75. And the check that had the stop payment on the October salary. Total checks for that month, $1,840.65. Ending balance, $219,450.83. Special account, beginning balance, $1,940.04. Check for the meals and travel seminar, Judge Gavin came through on $69.82. Ending balance, $1,770.22. Savings, $8,421.46. Deposits of $1,376 for the three accounts, for a total ending balance of $8,435.22. On the general account, ending balance $215,261.10. Ending balance $219,458.3. Net change of $405,189.36. Special. Beginning balance $2,223.94. fund balance $8,435.52. For a plus $41.31 net change. Total for that quarter was $3,536.22. The income for that period, control, we got $2,343.73. Supplement for adults, $234.25, with total $10,577.90. Expenses during payroll, special account $375, general account $1,384.50. Judge expenses out of special account $319.82, and the total for the special account $694.82 for the fourth quarter. Payroll services out of the general account $91. Texas Workforce Commission out of general account $45.27. IRS payroll general account $240.98. Texas Municipal League out of general account $2,627.30. Phones out of general account $512.19. Office supplies, general account $294.83. Stock payment $35 out of general account. And postal service out of general account $60.76. For a total of $5,291.91. And then the CDs, the investments, 8 CDs, the balance was $182,739.14, and interest earned at that period was $41.31.
Can I ask a couple of questions? TML, when did that get paid? Was it in October? Was it not on there? Did you bring the details of that?
That was the insurance. The risk management.
What is it on there that I asked, was it October because it's not on?
Probably that came through on disposal. It was almost empty.
Did you bring the detailed backup that I asked for? That I did not send you?
Backups are copies.
Copies of time.
No, a backup is a copy of what I read.
No, I asked for the
Supporting
details.
documents is different.
I've been asking for the supporting documents for months.
I do have supporting documents. If you want to see them, I'll show you.
Also, the next question I have is on December, overcash November calculation. So that is just an estimate of what you believe this would be?
Well, that's what they built us.
Because it said calculation. That's what you paid before that, doesn't say. You said overcash October is third quarter calculation.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, you did have a calculation, I just wondered why you put it that way. To me, it sounded like an estimate.
No, there were any overcash business, straight up to.
Okay, because there's no calculation on anything else except for it. Speaking of that,
You're talking about the third calculation, quarter calculation?
well,
That's that's quarter off.
No, I want to say $4.
yeah, $4, but it just said there's calculations. That's what the question, because why don't any of the other items say wonder if it was an estimate. Since overcash on November and December, but
$4, how much can it vary?
Alright.
Alright.
79. How come there is such a variance? One month it's 79 and the next month it's $4.
One says third quarter. Still doesn't add up. Quarter.
Animal check went through October 14th.
I also wondered, since it looks like our attorney has been working for us since late November, early December, have we got any invoices for that, so maybe the city can know to expect to start the bill?
We're talking about OCAD.
No, she's talking about this attorney, and I can explain the third quarter business, I think. The over cashing deal was $79, because it wasn't just doing a paycheck. It was doing all the calculations necessary for third quarter taxes to be turned into the IRS Social Security account, and that's why it cost more. It was third quarter aggregate for doing the third quarter. Right. And she's going to know about the changes.
Because it just seems like you should have received a bill by now. And the next question I had too is, you told the city council that we could see the contract before you signed it with the attorney.
Can
And
you speak up
also,
a little bit?
the only person that the attorney was supposed to talk to was the mayor. And we know that's not true.
I'm gonna cut in real quick. I understand that there are some concerns there, but that's not what we're talking about for this agenda item. We can talk about it later, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have on it, but we need to stick to the topic that we're on the agenda right now, which is our financial report. If you have questions about that, free game, but let's try and stay focused.
But then I can't ever get on the agenda. That's
Okay, do I have a motion that we accept the read? No motion? Financial report? November, December, the fourth quarter.
We just wanted to make the motion on the floor.
Okay, motion is made, do I hear a second?
He said he can't make the
He
motion.
didn't-
No.
he didn't-
He prepared the
I'm
report,
just
he
making-
prepared the
I
report.
said, I don't wanna make it since I read it on second.
Okay,
I'm not gonna make it.
all right,
I'll let
we make a motion, okay. All in favor?
I have to abstain on financials until I can talk to the attorney.
Okay. All opposed?
Take your
You
vote.
opposed? Gary?
I did not oppose. I abstained, I did not oppose.
Gary, you opposed, you get twice in your forehead.
I said it already. So I'm not gonna vote.
You're not gonna vote.
Yes.
I abstain, sir.
Okay? Okay. Good, too. Discuss and take action on the election items.
So I have 4 specific items that we were to discuss. And it's even on the first agenda that we discussed now. but not on this one, so is it okay to go over the 4 specific items?
Oh, as long as they're related to this election, to this election.
Okay. So the first item is the order of election. So we do owe the county the official order of election for council places 1, 3, and 5. The election will be held here at the Briaroaks Fire Hall. Dates to be determined. This discusses that applications for ballot by mail shall be mailed to me at the P.O. Box. Phone number, email address, website are all available. Applications for ballot by mail are due by April 26, 2022. This will be issued this February 7, 2022. The mayor and all council are to sign. This is standard practice for all elections. Then this will be sent over to the county. So you guys can talk about it. We'll be over to the mayor.
Kathy, did I hear you correctly that the date of the election was to be determined?
No, the early, the voting, the early voting.
Okay.
What is it?
You know what the election date is?
Let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, the main date is May 7th. Sorry. But we have a council decide about their early voting. The times for it. This is the standard, it comes from the state, you're gonna have an election. This has to be filed by next Friday, so we're doing this because we're all together in anticipation of an election. If we don't have multiple seats, it doesn't get turned in. Just present it to you guys and get together.
She said this was the form you downloaded from the website?
Yeah, just the elections.
So we already decided.
Yeah, everybody will be fine. There's a mayor line and then there's multiple council lines. And I'll listen to that to the county.
They need to fill this out tonight yet?
You're just gonna sign on one line. Everybody will just sign it. I've already filled it out.
Okay.
Yes. It's on that, I think it's on the second page. Oh, it's there.
Oh, there it is.
It's over. So you just sign it right now.
So was the meeting in December when they decided to call the election?
Yeah, we do that.
I just wanted to say elections.
There's
Usually you can do it all at once. I was just curious.
Yeah. Okay, next is the, voting machine lease agreement between Johnson County and the city. I received a draft copy of it. It's just saying $350 to be on the machine. We have to place it on the county. It's the same. We pick it up in like April, give it back on the night we have the election.
Do y'all want to see this?
No, sir, that'll be something else too. I'm just telling you, just to be aware
Oh, okay.
that we have, will come up. It's a standard, because that has to be turned in next week. Right.
If you want me to approve it, you can send it to me and I can look it over and we can go from there. But it'll take me too long to look
Yeah,
over the pages.
it's the,
Yeah.
that one goes to the county. Just so you're aware. This one goes. Same one. I'm gonna go.
You got one more, Ken?
Yes, sir. Do you want me to go on? Okay, so the next item that council needs to be aware of is the selection of the election judge. So council will vote on that. You guys could present somebody, whatever, you have to come to an agreement on the election judge, and the election judge will then select the clerks that will work with them during early voting and day of.
So, does anybody have any ideas of people that can work the election?
We have some nice ladies that have done it for decades.
I mean, I guess you can certainly ask.
Yeah, that's all you all have to do that part.
That would be my preference.
Is there a deadline on it?
They have to, the election judge, and clerks have to be notified by April 22nd. So I'm just kind of telling council at this point to be aware.
Kelly, I'm having trouble understanding what you're saying.
So the appointment of the election judge and clerks has to be done by April 22nd. So we have some time, I'm just trying to, since we're here meeting, bring it up so council's aware to make their selection.
There's mine.
Are you're voting for Ms. Sims?
She's done it 40 years.
I mean, but you all have to vote on that, so I'm just,
And then we need how many more?
a minimum of 2 more clerks.
Okay, because you're gonna be down one, because Peggy Harkins is not gonna do it this year.
I was gonna ask for volunteers to check with me later on
Okay.
and see what we get and see where we are.
Thank you.
Okay, and the last thing, if you guys are done talking about that, is we need to select a date between February 28th and March 7th, because we will either continue on with the election process based on the amount of applications we receive, or ballot drawing, and order ballots and continue, or we will do an order of cancellation. For, since we did an unopposed status, if we only receive 1 for each seat. So this is just to, since you all are together, to select a date or talk about it. I don't know. Send it later. But select a date between February 28th and March 7th.
Can I email mine, because I don't have my calendar.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
So,
March 7th.
What?
Just like that?
That's my suggestion. Make it easy.
right, it's the 28th and the 7th.
Is there gonna be another meeting between now and either of those dates? So they need to pick one. We need to pick one and vote on.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
And then, because we have deadlines to
Yeah.
meet to get forward.
Oh, that's a deadline, March 2nd.
That sounds great. Is that what you, are you okay with that?
Which,
March 7th?
that's fine, we could.
Okay.
So let's make a motion and.
Yeah, because I'll think that.
I'll make a motion March 7th.
Second,
A second.
all in favor, March 7th?
Can you also vote on Ms. Sims?
They can, yeah, you can election.
Can't y'all vote on Ms. Sims since she is the judge?
You all can vote for Ms. Sims if you want her to be your election judge. The faster we start, the better.
I mean, I think you need to make a decision. If she's not gonna agree to it, go ahead and vote her in. Don't let her get away.
Someone want to make a motion? Second.
Make a motion that Sydney Sims is our election judge.
I second that.
She accepted.
It's too late now.
Unless you need,
We have a motion and we have a second.
I made the motion.
No.
Decision. What's it for? For Sydney to be the election judge.
Okay. You must remember, this year's day. I don't do it.
Mr. Laux, you seconded?
I'm gonna get you a.
I second the motion for Ms. Sims.
Okay,
she
all in
doesn't do
favor?
blah, blah, blah.
Okay, thanks.
Jerry,
Big general.
I'm done now.
Jerry,
You good now?
Jerry, I know this isn't on the agenda, but I know you want to talk about it. It's the RFP for the CPA to do an audit, that we never had an audit. So I've been doing some research, and I actually just took one from a city like Port Aransas, because it was the smallest city I could find that you could actually look into. And I started to kind of tweak this and look into all the different stuff, you know, that I'm not an attorney. But then I started thinking, I really should not be doing this. This is probably more of a liability to the city and to me. So I really think this is something.
Well, I'm not voting on it.
This is something that the attorney needs to work on, not me. Because this is not just calling a CPA to say, hey, I want you to do this audit. This is 12 pages of all of this stuff.
Okay, just give it to me and we'll have it done.
Okay, I'll get you another, because I can make a copy of all
This
this.
is probably why we're getting turned down by
It
CPA.
is, because we weren't doing it properly. And then when I looked at, this
Well, I talked to a
legal,
couple, but they have you either can't get them to return the call.
right, we're not doing it properly, but when, no normal citizen should be able to do RFP to the CPA firm to do a government audit. Okay. So,
Okay. Anything else? Okay, I want to.
Does that make sense?
Council, the state city, after we adjourn, we've got a couple of statements that need to be made. Because there will be no discussion. So, as of now, the council has adjourned. Thank you for coming.
The next day, the third. Yeah, they don't have to leave.
Hey, y'all can stay if you want.
yeah, we'll get her statement. First meeting.
Yes, it's not a voting.
The meeting's over, but y'all can stay.
Y'all want, listen, hey, my guy. You get that way.
Freedom to speak.
We're not making any actions or discussing anything. Oh, I don't know what is happening, I don't know what you're talking about, I just want to make it clear.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Our attorney will go to the state.
I know that there's been some contention on, I guess, the arrangement for office. I know we've had people reach out that we haven't been able to talk to. The contract that we had that was voted on, in my understanding, that we have for you guys was contact for my office was supposed to go through the mayor. That's not to say that anyone needs to be saying, no, I don't want you to talk to them. It's not how it's supposed to go. It's just to funnel communication, because it's not going to email me, every time I talk to somebody, that costs you guys. And so the idea is to just funnel, kind of minimize cost for everything. So what I understand is there's been some discourse on what people know, what people don't know. That's not the intent of our office. We represent the city as a whole, which we represent every person sitting at this table. So we need to figure something out and an alternative arrangement or a communication line. That's a big challenge for sure, and that we can work that out. Another thing, obviously, the mayor doesn't communicate via email, so one of our communications are via email. But if it's something that you guys kind of want updates on whatever's going on, whenever I send an email, I can just have everybody so everybody can see it. That doesn't make a difference. But I just want to make it clear that it's not the intent that it's a secret that people will talk to me, or certain people can, or certain people can't. The agreement that we have from the city is that it follows through the mayor. So unless he
That's
says,
not what we were told. We were told that we could seek a contract before it was signed, and the person that was supposed to contact you is the mayor. But of course, that hasn't happened. You've had other contact with, we've had emails that you sent, but yes, then you have contact with others. So yes, it is very confusing. We were told this, but it is the opposite.
okay, so I guess we just need a little clarification there. So part of the way that works is if the mayor's directed me to reach out to someone else on a certain item, that's for the mayor to reach out. So if someone was handling a specific item that he needed me to talk to, then that's why I reached out. It's not just someone cold calling my office or emailing me and me respond. Because as you well know, I'm not going to respond.
I guess your admin answer when I asked if I could speak to you because I'm not, corresponding with others. She asked if I was on the list. Well, there was a list, if I was one person.
So there's not a list. There's not a list. I was in communication. There's definitely not a list. But any contact I've had with any other council member has been directed through the mayor, because that's what our understanding of the
Don't you think that the city council should work in contract?
as far as what we got, it was. If that's something we need to look into and work on, we can look into that and work on it later. But what we have was that it was signed and approved by the city council, signed by who was supposed to sign it. Otherwise, we wouldn't
It
do it.
wasn't, we want to see a copy of it.
Okay, well, we can work
Since
on it.
we haven't seen it, have we?
We agreed to hire the man in open meeting, and, nobody else had any alternative. We tried to get other lawyers in here to hire, so we could, we agreed to hire him.
Just so we can see. You're supposed to see every contract that the city has. So this should be no different.
I don't think he's gonna haggle it. I don't think he's gonna haggle it over contract.
Well, there's nothing
Is
we can
the,
do
is the
now.
concern just the communication? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'd like to see the contract. I think we should all see it because we should have all approved it. And we didn't. So yes, I would like to see.
Well, if there's a full contract, I should have it on file with the city. As secretary,
Is there not one?
I've not seen one either.
Then we'll work on it.
Okay.
We'll figure out what happened.
Okay, good.
We'll figure it out.
We should have haggle.
But I did just want to clarify, I guess that's the whole point of my comment. I'm not choosing to talk to some council members and not others.
Thank you for coming.
I'm happy to be here whenever y'all need me to be here. Because like I said, I represent the city, so I represent you guys. So I'm here to help all of you.
I'd like to clear up something. And I need to read it because I don't want to make any mistakes. And this is addressed to the city council members regarding council member Richard's email to each of you on January the 21st. In the third paragraph, she accused me of being in contact with the city attorney. I strongly say to you, this is not true.
You
I
have the
have
email
never
too.
been in direct contact nor sought to be in contact with our city attorney. Attached to the council members' emails are some of the emails between Secretary Alpern and me. As you can read, Secretary Alpern invented the lie and gave the information to Councilman Witcher. She had to tell only one person the lie, but Councilman Witcher spread the lie by telling at least 5 people. I believe this is a way of trying to discredit me because of the research I'm doing. I don't appreciate the I gotcha games being played by the Secretary and Council Member Witcher. Since my personal email is involved, I am no longer using it for city business. I need for the city to set up an email address, or the secretary can figure out a way to deliver to me the email she sends out to the council members. Also, I won't be relating emails to the mayor, so he needs to have access to the mayor's email that the city provides for him. He asked for the code and directions 2 months ago, but has yet to receive them. On Briaroaks neighborhood, last November the 3rd, it was questioned if the mayor was getting the emails that the city pays for the mayor's emails, so he needs to use them. I will stop using my personal email for city business next Monday, February the 14th. My advice to you is to verify information by asking the source you are going to accuse. Also, not everything put on Briaroaks neighborhood is the truth. Videos can be deceptive too. Thanks.
Carolyn, I'm sorry that you missed this email, because it went from the city secretary to every one of the city council.
I know.
That had an email where you had, you had been correspondent, and that's what the attorney says. So yes, I knew you had, your name was right here.
I didn't seek to correspond with her. I had not been in direct contact with her.
Okay, I'm gonna, this
Okay.
is counterproductive.
There's no discussion.
I just wanted to make a comment to clarify some things that were obviously not
But it
clear.
wasn't a lie.
I hope that
Yes, it is.
that's clear now, but the meeting's been adjourned. I think we need to resolve.
Okay, that's it. Thank you again. You can leave this time.